to finish correcting, please put a score out of 8 at the top. If you also want to write an encouraging statement, you can also do that. Smiling face, a great job, you'll do better next time. Let's encourage our peers. Great, raise your hand if you need a little more time correcting. Okay, Robert, I'll give you about 45 seconds. I'm seeing a lot of smiley faces out there. Okay, after you've written a score out of 8 at the top, please give it back to the owner. And we are still at a level 0. Alright, owner, take a look at your do now. Do you have any questions on anything you got wrong? Now is the time to ask. Robert. Okay, let's ask a more direct question. Let's talk about a specific number. Choose a number that you want me to review.
5, 6, 7, 8.
No, I can have 10. Number 3. Would anyone like to explain number 3 to Robert up here on the board? I'm going to go with Selena because she put her hand up first. Selena, why don't you bring your pencil or your pen and talk us through number 3. So remember, we respect our peers. So we're all tracking the speaker, who's Selena. We're not turned around and we're not talking to someone else because we're listening to what she's saying and we're showing her respect. Go ahead.
So you have to go with the pentas.
Pentas, yeah.
So there's parentheses. So we gotta do this first. 3 root 4 plus 8 in addition, which is 8.
How did you know you were doing 4 plus 4 first? Why didn't you do 4 minus 6 first?
In addition. I mean, because you do left to right.
Good.
And then I subtract 8 minus 6, which is 2.
Mm-hmm.
Then you bring down divided by 12, which is 6. So like,
Good. Now make sure you're showing that this is in parentheses. Good. Robert, do you still have a question for Selena before she has a seat? Or did that answer your question? Okay, I'll be right over there to check it. Any other questions on the do now? No other questions? Going once. Going twice. Okay, moving on. So let's have a seat. Thank you. That's Mary. Alright, now the people at the head of the table, so Donnell, Justin, and Jennifer, I want you guys to pass back that blue sheet that is on your desk. So there should be a stack of blue papers. Kishana has one. And you're passing that down your row. Jennifer, do you have yours? It's under your yellow paper. There it is. Alright, so Ms. Rocha is going to review this with you guys. That's something that we talked about yesterday, but now we have a lovely printout to go inside of your binder. And now all of us are here because Hector was out yesterday.
Alright, so the blue sheet in front of you, I'm going to need some volunteers to read it. We're just going to go over our class expectations of what we went over yesterday. Yesterday we had a wonderful reset day. We learned about Ms. Garcia's vision and our vision and why we're here. And we came up with some rules. So first one, Selena. Just read the first part.
Students should be respectful to all people in the classroom. This includes your teachers and classmates.
So A and B are 2 examples of what you should do to follow being respectful. Donnell, can you read A, please?
Read what?
A. 1A.
will listen respectfully when a teacher, classmate is speaking and you will correct them. Okay, I got you, man. This means you will listen respectfully when a teacher, classmate is speaking and you will correct them.
Thank you. So when someone is speaking, when someone has the floor, you're tracking them, that means that you're looking at them and you're listening with your ears. Right, B, 1B. Can I get a volunteer? Savannah. Yes, if you have something to say or if you want to respond to a question, concern, just raise your hand and we will call upon you. Sounds good? Alright, 2. The student will remain in seat at all times. A, Gabriel. Nice and loud, please. So if we have to refocus our attention on someone who's fidgeting, who's dancing, who's waving, and it's just completely distracted, we have to stop and start. And it doesn't help us create the learning environment that we talked about before. 2B. Hector.
Students will sit in their assigned seats when asked to by the teacher, and with work
And will work.
comprehensively with their group members. They will respectfully share their concerns after the class or after school.
Yes, so we talked about how we should address our classmate if we don't agree with what they're saying. We said we would respond by we disagree, or I think it's best if we, right? We're not saying this is dumb, this is wrong, I want to sit by you, we're not saying any comments. If they're rude and disrespectful, you get a warning,
Bro,
and it's a merit.
get on my face.
Right, number 3. Student will give 100% on their work assigned in class. So this is where effort comes in. Kishana, can you read 3A, please?
This means that you assist my will be prepared for class and you will work on that.
Kishana, can you read it one more time? Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
This means that you assist my you will be prepared for class and you'll work on that grade.
So if you're here, you're in class, you're participating, I need 100% of you. So that means you're sitting smart, raising your hands, following along. Alright, and last one, 3B. Okay. Selena, go ahead.
If you are not here to learn, you are not participating, then you will be learning.
Right, so here's a little note from us at the bottom. Robert, go ahead.
If the student continues to meet the expectations, they will receive you. They will receive the winners. If the student continues still, they will be very perhaps they will receive the winners. This is to ensure that all students will be in an environment that's supposed to be.
So these are our goals, Ms. Garcia and me. And we both want you guys to be in the best learning environments you can learn everything that we're teaching. So what we will do, you'll get your warning, you'll get your demerit, and then you'll be asked to remove yourself from our class. Any questions? Kishana.
Why would something y'all gonna do these class expectations?
I think this is, like we were talking about yesterday, our vision. And one of the things that we've noticed, Ms. Garcia and I, is that our culture in this class isn't the best that it could be. So moving forward, we want to make sure that it is. So this is how we're going to.
But removing the kid from class, you just making them not succeed in life because you kicking them out the class and not, they're not gonna be able to know the rest of the lesson because you kicked them out.
True. Donald's not gonna get the lesson today because he's missing out on that. So the way that he needs to respond to that is tomorrow when he's in here or whenever someone else gets removed. You need to make sure that you're on point and you're not distracting anyone else and you're not disrupting the learning that's happening so that you can stay in here and you can learn. So the reason that you are getting removed is because you're exhibiting behaviors that tell me or Ms. Rocha that you don't want to be here. And that's fine. If you don't want to be here, you can be removed. And we're going to make sure that the kids that do want to be in here and that do want to learn are going to stay in here and be able to learn. So if you're the one that's like messing with the flow of things, we're going to make sure that you're not keeping someone else. Like if you really want to learn that lesson and you really want to be focused, I'm not going to let anyone else in here disrupt you or distract you from doing that. Okay, and I know it feels a little weird and it seems difficult because it's happening so far into the year, but things just needed to change. And this is what's going to be best for all of you guys. Okay, Robert.
Why do you keep them out? Like, you know, for the minutes, what if they just have like a day and then they just don't like can't you just kick them out without them?
We'll talk about that one on one. Because I do think that's something that I want to talk about with you, but I think that's one person. Okay?
But some of us have trouble doing that. So all you do is when you give us something there and that's gonna make us even more mad. And then you make it continue.
I know. And I know some of us really struggle at this, and it's something that we've all been working on all year. Not fair. And it's also not fair to, I'm going to put you on the spot, Savannah. Savannah is always in here super focused, doing her work. And although math may not be her favorite subject, she works really hard at it. And it's not fair that I have to stop teaching to tell someone to stop doing something or they're doing something they shouldn't be doing when Savannah is here to work. And I know that's something that we need to work on, and that's something we're going to work on one-on-one. And this is going to help you with that. Jen.
But we're not Savannah, so
I know you're not.
but that's why we have all of us have different types of like disabilities or whatever you want to call it. Like me, I can't stay focused. Like if I try to stay focused on something, like let's say somebody drops a pencil, I look over there and I start laughing and start this and that. But it just happens. It's normal to me. Like give me one to marry. Like that frustrates me even more and makes me want to like stay around even more.
And hopefully having a structure will help you keep yourself on track more. Alright, I understand that that's something that you struggle with, and we've talked about this before. But I really think that this is going to be the best thing for this class. So I need you guys to really be in it to win it, give 100%, and really follow these expectations. And we'll see how much more successful this class will be. Okay? Kishan, last one.
So like you said, like Savannah's the only person that's focused in here.
Oh no, not at all. She's not the
It's
only
it's like more than
person
one
that's
person
focused.
that's focused in here. Because we all trying to leave high school, not stay in high school all 5 years of our life.
You're gonna finish in 4, Kishan.
I know, but I'm saying like y'all kicking us out, getting us supposed to be married to them, that's a discipline class. But like every time we leave a guy that's 4 minutes. Then the one you give us in here, that's 5 altogether. So you just adding up that's going to do our freshman year.
So I liked the point that you made that Savannah's not the only one in here that's focused, because she's not. Some days you're super focused, you're really on it, and you're just like the best student in here. And some days it's Savannah, and some days it's Selena, and some days it's Hector, some days it's Jennifer. You guys all have your good days, and you guys all are good students. All, like, most of the time. Some days we have bad days, some days we have like times where we're just really distracted or we have a lot on our mind, and those are the days that we're really disrupting the learning. Alright, Jennifer, I said that Kishana was gonna be the last one, and we need to move on
Can I say one thing?
at the end of class.
No, but like this is important. Like it has to do with home too. Like I was saying, like you know like sometimes like your how do you say that? Your like the way you act is because of home, like your house or something, or like if something is happening, it's because of your house. Like if your things happen at home. So how do you expect this to be good if something bad is happening at home and you just make it even worse in school?
I completely understand that. I know that school isn't the whole part of your world. You guys have friends, you guys have families, you guys have other things going on in your life. And part of being an adult and part of growing up is learning how to still do the things that you have to do, even with all those other things on your mind. So right now, high school is a time where you're learning that and we're supporting you in that. Just like sometimes I may have had a really rough day at home, or I may have gotten in a fight with my mom. But I'm not gonna take that out on you guys, because that's not what adults do and that's not a very professional or nice thing to do. So just like that, we're gonna hold you guys accountable to that and we're gonna try to help you learn those skills.
Yeah. And we're not saying like hold it in, trying not to let those things affect you, because it does. You have a bad day and it'll affect you. But that's why there's so many adults around you. You just have to speak to an adult, speak to your advisor. That's the first person to see in the morning. So that's a great way to let them know, I had a rough night last night at home, and then they'll help you figure it out.
Okay, so the way that we're going to do this, help keep each other accountable and help you know how many warnings and how many demerits you've gotten, because I don't want any of you to ever feel surprised. We're going to write them, for now, on the projector, on the overhead. I'm going to try to get something to be a little bit more clear. And this is not for me to put your business out there or for me to put you on blast. It's for you to know where you are. So when you receive a warning from either me or Miss Rocha, we're gonna write your name down. That's how you know, like, you've received your warning. When you have 1D next to you, that means you've gotten a demerit because you've done something else that is not on our list of, that goes against something in our classroom expectation. Okay, and then when you're removed, after you receive your first demerit, that will be an R. Okay? So, those of you that received a warning, your names are here. If I had to tell you something again, then you guys got 1 demerit. So the next time the people on this list do something that goes against our classroom expectations, they're going to be removed. All right, and this is not to put you guys on blast. It's to make sure that you know where you're at, and so that your peers can say, well, I'm not going to look at Jennifer right now because if I make her laugh or if I get her into trouble, then she's going to be out, and that's going to be my fault. Okay, so it's to help you and your peers help keep you accountable. Robert.
So you get 1 merit and you get 1 merit.
I can't hear you.
You get a merit, and then after that, when you have to say something else, you get removed.
But don't forget, you get a warning first.
So I gave you a warning, and then I gave you a demerit. Next time I have to tell you something.
So it's 2 strikes out.
Yes, exactly.
There's only 3 strikes.
This is everyone's reminder. Okay. Now we're going to go into our activity for today. So you guys make sure you keep that blue sheet. Flip it into your binder right now. It's hole punched for a reason. That's right. Alright, so please make sure you write your heading. So that includes your name, the date, which is 12/9. Yeah. our objective today is that students will be able to solve one-step equations. Now, if at any point in the lesson you need me to go back or repeat something, please just raise your hand. Do not just say, can you go back? Ms. Garcia, I didn't get that. Please make sure that you're raising your hand and you're waiting to be called on before you start speaking. Robert.
I asked you that question, the little dots, plus,
Yeah, when we get there, I'll call on you, okay? Alright. So we're going to start off by reading this first statement. Who wants to read this aloud for me, please? Allie, go ahead. We should all be following along on our paper.
An equation is a mathematical statement that two expressions are equal.
So we've all seen expressions. We've worked with them for a while now. And an equation includes an equal sign. And what an equation does, it's saying that whatever's on the left side is equal to whatever's on the right side. So now, I want you guys to mentally solve this equation. Something plus 10 equals 15. So I want you guys to do that in your head. Don't use a calculator. Don't use a pen or a pencil. I want you to do it in your head. Raise your hand when you have an answer. Something plus 10 equals 15. Okay, say your interclass. 5. Good. How did you do that? Okay, raise your hand. It wasn't clear, so I'm not going to do it. Raise your hand. Jen.
Oh, I said I thought it was like a show.
I know, that's fine. I wasn't clear, so I'm not demeritating you.
5 because it's 5. It's 10, you add 5.
So it's just something that you know, right? Something that you've memorized along the way, and you know that if you add 10 to 5, it's going to give you 15, right? But what about when you have really big numbers or really complicated equations? You can't just do them in your head all the time. So we're going to learn the proper way to do that, and I need you guys tracking up here as I do this. So I'm going to solve this problem. I don't know what's inside of this box. I need you guys tracking up here. Hector, that's your warning. I don't know what goes in this box. In math, when I don't know what something is, I'm going to represent it by using a letter. The most popular letter is X. So I'm going to represent that thing that I don't know as X. I've got X plus 10 is equal to 15. When solving equations, I have one goal, and that is to isolate the variable, or to get it by itself. So I want this X to be by itself. The equal sign represents two different sides, the side on the left and the side on the right. Right now, what is on the same side with the X? Let me get a hand. What is with the X? Why is the X not by itself yet? Robert? Sure. Right now, is the X by itself? It is? There's nothing on the same side as the X. The 10 is with it, right? But my goal is to get the X by itself. So I gotta get rid of that 10. We're gonna learn how to do that right now. We're gonna do the inverse operation. Inverse operations are, Hector, can you read this out for me?
Inverse operation. The operation that undoes each other.
So inverse operations, yeah, just like Hector said, are operations that undo each other. Now, Robert, you said you wanted to help out with this? So we're going to start filling out the chart. Robert, what is the opposite of addition? Subtraction. Easy as that. Now wait till I call on you to answer these. Gabe, what is the opposite of subtraction? Addition. Good. Allie, what is the opposite of multiplication?
We're writing it down here.
Yes, you guys are writing these down on the chart.
Division.
Justin, what is the opposite of division? These two are a little bit more tricky. Robert, do you know what the opposite or the undo is of an exponent? The 2, but how is that 2 going to look?
I mean, 2x.
You're close. You're close. You're really close. Actually, you think you got it? What is it?
X times X.
Close. So the way that I undo a power is by square rooting it. So if I have a squared, if I square root it, that's going to undo it. Now, similarly, if I have a square root, what do you guys think that undoing it? How am I going to undo it, Jen?
X.
Good. I'm going to square it. Now, later on in your mathematics career, you're going to see that squaring and square rooting is not the only way to do those operations. You can also do it to the power of 6, or 6 root, or you can do it for any number. But we're not going to go into that this year because right now we're focusing on